G'day, Paul from Democast Media, helping you supercharge your workflow with screen capture. So I'm going to be summarizing over the next several weeks a free course that Articulate offer, and they're a company that make a high-end e-learning software. They offer this for free via email. So I'm going to leave a link in the description notes so you can sign up for yourself. But I'm going to summarize every week of that course over the next several weeks so you too can get an understanding of what e-learning is all about. And screen capture, screencasting does fall into that understanding or within that framework. So week one, today we're looking at what is e-learning. In recent years, I was wanting to learn how to draw birds. I've always loved birds since I was a young child up until now, and I just wanted to know, how do I make these birds look realistic? Not just little circles and triangles and dots, but something that looks like a photograph. And I looked online to see if I could just do an online course, preferably video, and it turns out that there are enough people to justify a course just to draw birds, and it's on Craftsy. So for about $20 or $25, I was able to get this, and it had modules from the history of drawing birds to basic sketches, all the way to making a clay version of your bird, to using different kinds of mediums to get a beautiful bird picture from that step by step. This was a course that I could do on my tablet, and each module, each course, I click on a video and the instructor was there, professionally made video. They would show me step by step on what I needed to do, and then I was given homework, and I could post what I was producing on their online community straight through the app. That course really was getting me on the way to becoming a great bird artist, and that is an example of e-learning. When you think about e-learning, it covers a broad spectrum of mediums, but the way this first article talks about e-learning is it's education that's transmitted electronically to a device. It's a course that you do on a tablet, your laptop or your PC, or even your phone. That is what e-learning is all about. So it's very likely you've done some form of e-learning. You may not have been aware of it. In fact, the way I interpreted this article, you can look at e-learning on a spectrum, or on a quadrant really. The horizontal axis being that the consumption can be quite simple to quite complex from left to right, and the development cost can be low to high. So if you think about that quadrant, on the bottom left-hand corner, when it's the most simple and the easiest to develop, you can be looking at blog posts that have been posted online on a website, all the way up to the top-hand corner, which is a branching scenarios type e-learning course, which you find on an LMS, much more complicated, much more interactivity, and everything in between. And so these things can include screencast demonstrations, which is my personal favorite. It can include webinars, traditional slide-based courses where people can click through and do quizzes, and many more things. And all this is made possible because of the way technology has become more accessible and mobile. So it benefits you, the consumer, and it benefits a person creating the content. So it goes both ways. So it's like having a digital class wherever you go. I could have done that birding course anywhere. I didn't have to go to a location. I didn't have to I could do the course whenever I wanted. There was feedback that I could get from a community as well as from the instructor. So many benefits to help me get to where I wanted to go. And so a couple of other things that I got from this week's learning: you can, depending on what you're trying to achieve, your distribution can be formal or informal. Informal means that you just place your content on a site and then you can share a link so people can find the content. This is fine if you don't need to worry about tracking results or how many people do the course or complete it, or see where people are running into problems. So there's that side of distribution. Or if you need to track results, you need to see if people are completing the modules, you need to find a formal way to distribute that. And that's where your LMS comes into it, your learning management system. It's your portal where your digital class lives. And the thing I'm going to finish on here is e-learning standards. I'd seen these terms flying around, I just didn't know what they meant. So for your LMS, your portal, to track what your learners are doing, to track learner activity, it needs to be able to speak to the course. And that's where an e-learning standard comes into play. It's like a bridge. It's a language that helps the LMS and the course speak to one another. And so the standards that you could use for bridging that communication there is SCORM, which is Shareable Content Object Reference Model, which doesn't flow off the tongue, but that's one standard which works with LMSs. And another one is Tin Can API or XAPI, and that's where you can track people's learning activity outside of an LMS. And then there's another one called AICC, I believe, which is starting to be phased out anyway. I invite you to sign up to this course. Find the link in the description below, and then you tell me what you think. How have you created or consumed e-learning? Have you done it through a tablet, through a PC, or have you been responsible for creating something like this? Do you have examples of what you've done to help bring results for people? So that's all for today. Next up, I will talk about week 2 of this free course. So remember, I am here to remove the stress and the confusion in the workplace, one screen capture at a time. So if you want to be a better communicator, trainer, or knowledge manager, make sure to subscribe to this and other videos that I create. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.